Hi, everyone. I would like to tell you about the teacher who utterly changed my life. And it came as a complete surprise. When I was in high school, I guess you could have seen me as a bit of a troublemaker, let's say. I just could not stay. I didn't like school. I had a sort of a chip on my shoulder, a little bit of a wise guy, answering back kind of stuff. And I think that was my reputation. And I had a girlfriend all through high school. And once in my junior year of high school, and I had heard of Miss Vincenzo. It's Terry Vincenzo. She was an English teacher. I hadn't had her yet, but I had heard of her, and I had heard that she was pretty tough. So my locker at the time was directly across from her classroom. And my girlfriend and I were in an argument. We'll call it an argument. And I really lost my temper, and I slammed my locker. And I slammed it so hard that it closed and opened again. And I thought to myself, whoa, you need to calm down. And out from her room came Miss Vincenzo. And of course, I immediately put on my best attitude for her, thinking that she was going to give me a hard time about the argument. And she said to me, Mr. Stanizzi, I'd like to see you in my room for a moment. And so I went into her room with the huge chip on my shoulder and the look on my face, ready to give her a hard time if she wanted to give me a hard time. And she said to me, I hear through the grapevine that you write poetry. Well, that was shock number one, because I tried to keep it a secret in high school because it was sort of, I felt in those days, embarrassing to try to be a tough guy and a poet at the same time. But I owned up to it. I said, yes, I do write poetry. And she said, well, I just wanted you to know that on public television tonight, there is going to be a documentary about a poet named Hart Crane. And I just thought you might like to see it. And I wanted to let you know that it would be on. And that was the end of the conversation. After the slamming of the locker and the fight, that was the end of the conversation. I went home that evening and watched the documentary on Hart Crane and found out that, first of all, we had several things in common. We were both only children. We had fathers who were rather overbearing and didn't like the idea of us pursuing writing as opposed to pursuing the family business. And the documentary took me to a place that I didn't know existed in myself. It changed it changed how committed I was to my writing. Miss Vincenzo and I became great friends. We eventually would go out to dinner together. She would come to the house and visit us. And I ultimately, many years later, did a dissertation on Hart Crane. And so I would have to say that that moment that I thought I was gonna be given the business for fighting outside her classroom door, and instead was informed that there would be a documentary about Hart Crane that I might like, that would have to be the moment that changed me permanently and the most profoundly. So thank you so much, Ms. Theresa Vincenzo. Thank you.